Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach. Season 2024 has officially kicked off, and I thought I would make a quick little video and do a little roundup of the Vegas, the couple of games on Sunday. We'll talk about some key players. Honestly, I just felt like talking about Supercoach because I was obviously it's a split round, so it's a bit. It's a bit all over the shop, but I'll do another video after Team List Tuesday this week, and then we'll do normal preview for the general round, and then reviews after the round. But because it's a split round, I thought we'll get the first two games out of the way and talk a little bit about it. There's quite a bit. And I gotta be honest, I have not started great. It's been a bit of a shit show. Well, there's been a couple of good players, but let's go through first. Manly Seagulls taking on the Rabbitohs. Now, I picked the Seagulls. I thought they looked pretty good coming into this year, and especially this first round. The Rabbitohs looked a little bit flimsy. There were some good moments, there were some bad moments. Overall, just a very quick synopsis. I thought it was a great weekend or Sunday of Vegas. I thought it was good. I thought it was fantastic, and I think it's a good initiative going forward. Is it going to break the fucking American market? Of course not. But I think it was great regardless, and it was a good adventure for the NRL to for the next 5 years, I think it is. So hopefully it gets bigger and better every year. But let's go into the nitty gritty. So Ruben Garrick and Olukwatu. So everyone was dude, I don't know why everyone is so against Garrick playing in the centres for Supercoach. I just don't understand it. I still think he is potentially a great option. I didn't start with him just because very expensive, and just the balance of the team, I couldn't really afford to make a very premium centre wing work. But I think he is he going to score more in centre wing or centres than he was on the wing? No, probably not, but I think he's still a fantastic purchase, just in a Manly team that can score points. He's the goal kicker. Just the fact Tommy Trbojevic is back, and he looked good. Trbojevic looked good. Olukwatu looked outstanding again. The fact that there were so many good mid-range second rowers, I don't know. I'm sure there's a few people that took the punt on Olukwatu. He looked unreal. I mean, and he always does. I think Olukwatu is up there as one of the best back rowers in the comp. It just cannot be stopped. You just give him the ball, breaks a couple of tackles. He has the arm free. If he just gets his hand on the footy, he's going to score well, and he did. He was superb. Tommy Trbojevic, he scored 81. He could have had 120 plus. He could have had a try assist to Jason Saab, who got run down. The no try to him, which I don't know, it was 50-50, but not given. There were so many times, but I'm very happy that I've got him in the team. I mean, granted, every fullback in these opening couple of games killed it, so if you went any of them, you're pretty happy. But Tommy looked fit. He didn't look hampered. He looked good. He was very involved, so good signs going forward. Benny Trbojevic, I mean, that was pretty beautiful. Tommy onto Ben Trbojevic for a try assist. Love to see it. But yeah, it looked good. I mean, again, is he going to be long term? Probably not, but you had to start him. And he scored well. Who else of note? So Luke Brooks scored 59. I think, if you went Luke Brooks as your 5'8", you'd be happy. I mean, he scored about what he's priced at. He scored, he's a little bit of value with that price. Now, he did score a try with a line break, so there is quite a bit more points there. But at the same time, he also missed out on the Tom Trbojevic try assist, which was a 50-50 one. He dropped the ball over the line earlier in the game as well, so it could have gone either way. He could have scored a big one, or he could have scored a bit of a dud opening round. I think if you took the punt on Luke Brooks to start the year, I think you're feeling pretty good. You're feeling pretty good because he looked good. And again, it's the Tom Trbojevic factor. Manly have a very attacking team, and if Trbojevic is firing, Luke Brooks potentially can get on the back of that and get plenty of try assists. So I'm not convinced, but we'll see. Anyone else of note? Not really for the Manly boys. Who else were we looking at? I mean, Jackson Paulo, who I think is a bit of a pod play, didn't look great. Only scored the 16 points. I mean, I didn't go him, obviously, but I mean, for the future, if he drops a lot of cash, he's only like mid 400s now, but if he drops a bit of cash, he still could score some big points, but maybe one for the future. I mean, Nathan Brown was sort of that cheapish front row forward. He actually looked pretty good, but yeah, the minutes were an issue, only 28. Paseka was a somewhat popular option in front row, didn't do too much out there, but honestly, most forwards, I think you got to remember, most forwards are going to score pretty low in the opening couple of weeks unless they score a try. Like, I think every forward sort of underperformed apart from maybe a couple. So don't get too bound up in your front row forwards. Or fucking back row forwards. We'll get into the second rows in a bit. Oh god. But yeah. Manly, the players that went well, and not too much else. The Rabbitohs, so yeah, Latrell Mitchell looked great. 110 points. It could have been more. He was on like about 100 with 20-30 minutes to go. Could have been anything, but thankfully he sort of was sort of shut out of the game for the last 20 minutes. Who else? I mean, Cook got the opening try assist, and he looked pretty sharp early on. I was thinking, is it back to Cook's best? But yeah, he still only finished on 68 points with a try assist. So again, if you went Cook, you'd probably be happy with it, but you'd be a little concerned that he scored a try assist with only 68 points. Cameron Murray only getting, again, only 58 points for Murray. I feel like I don't think he played the full 80, but he played a lot of minutes, and he looked really involved, but again, only 58 points. And this comes back to my point. I think most forwards in the opening couple of rounds just underperform. Like, just get it out of the way, unless they have some attacking stats. Jacob Gagai, who I did end up I didn't play him. I didn't play him just because I didn't think he would score that well. He did score a try, but he only got 55 points, which is good. I mean, I'm just hoping that he can stay in the team for a couple of price rises. And he looks solid. And I decided to go him just because he had the wing spot as a bottom dollar cheapie. Richard Kennar he's obviously one winger that could have got the spot, but he was played in centre. So when Jack Wine comes back, you would expect him to take over Kennar, and then Gagai to hopefully keep the spot until Munro comes back. Obviously, there's Isaac Thompson as well in and around, but I'm just hoping Gagai keeps a spot. But bottom dollar cheapie who was playing, there's so many other guys that were sort of up in the air. I thought just lock him in on the extended bench just for the potential upside. Kalamatangi didn't look great. Sean Kepi, obviously another very popular option, was okay. Again, I wouldn't read too much into the round one. He looked pretty strong his opening stint. I think your concern for Kepi would be he played good minutes to start, but then the rotation, he didn't play many in his second stint. Like, he might have played 15 minutes, the back 15 minutes he came back on. But yeah, he scored about what he's priced at, a little bit more, so it's okay. Jai Arrow, who I did start in 39 points. Again, I don't know what to think about Arrow. I'm not panicking. I'm not going to trade him out instantly when round one's finished. But his role is not bad. Obviously, the minutes were a little bit annoying because he came off. Jacob Host went onto his edge, and then he went back on through the middle. switch with Murray. I think Murray went to the edge for a bit, and then Arrow was in the middle, and then they sort of switched at points, I think. So the role was like fine. He just, I mean, on top of the fact like he was injured like every tackle, like the first fucking hit up, he like rolled his ankle or something, and I thought, oh, here we go. It started early. So he had an ankle issue, and then later he had a shoulder concern, and then his head knock. Like, I don't know. I'm obviously going to give Arrow another couple of weeks potentially and see, because everything just sort of went wrong for Arrow in this one. Totola, who was also potentially an option, didn't look great. Cody Walker, not great. Mawale as a cheapie. I mean, again, he 30 points. He looked pretty strong, but this is why I didn't start with Mawale. I just think that at 260k, like, I just can't see him really getting much more expensive and making much cash, but we'll see. And then, yeah, not too much else to talk about with those guys. Jacob Host being on the bench is just a pain in the ass. Coming on for like 10-15 minutes, scoring 16 points. It is what it is. Then we move on to the Roosters Broncos. This game fucking shit me to tears. Obviously been a Broncos fan. Disappointing for the loss, but then, I mean, we'll get into it. The Joey Manu, obviously, I mean, Joey Manu would have been a good pod to start the year. He wasn't that expensive, like $640, I think, about that. So if you took the punt on Manu, you'd be feeling pretty happy. I mean, Victor Radley, very cheap to start the year, scored well. Tedesco's, I mean, it's good, but he did get a late try assist. So, and he was very involved. I do think this is sort of Tedesco being around that 70 average, which he's like priced at. I was half tempted to start the year with him. And again, granted, they were taking on the Broncos, who were last year's grand finalists and still a very good team. So Tedesco still might have it in him, but I think this game was like, is that sort of, he's not going to quite have the ceiling of the other fullbacks potentially. Terrell May. Oh, I should have started with Terrell May, obviously. But, I mean, Terrell May looked fantastic. And, again, it's just another good wait and watch on Terrell May for next week. Because I've got Arrow there. I've got another couple of front rowers that if Terrell May, when Hargraves comes back, and also the Lenu situation, I'm not going to get into any of that. But depending what happens there, Terrell May will be such an easy potential downgrade option from Arrow if he continues the minutes, because he looked unbelievable. 64 points, like he's priced, was he like 460, somewhere around that, 420 maybe, bit lower. But yeah, I mean, if he keeps that up, then he's for sure in after week 2. Anyone else of note? I mean, yeah. So I started Spencer Leniu. I thought, you know what, we'll take the gamble on 330k Spencer Leniu starting. And I don't really know what happened with the scoring, because he was on like 40 points like during the game, and at the end of the game, like, yeah, about 40 odd points. And then the next day he's downgraded to 31. So I don't know. Oh, I don't know, bro. But again, like, obviously with the situation now with Leniu, we'll see what happens. Like, oh, I don't know. The only silver lining with all that is if he is out for a chunk, yeah, it's not much to get from Leniu up to Terrell May, which will be like the easiest trade of my life. But yeah, we can wait to see what happens, the shake up from that. And then, of course, Tupanua here, 26 points. Come on, bro. This one's so annoying as well, because he played the opening 40 and then he got taken off a couple of minutes into the second half, and everyone was sort of like, what's going on? Came out, he had like an ankle injury, so it seemed like Tupanua was the guy that was going to get potentially 80 minutes on the edge, but obviously suffered an injury, went off. 26 points. Supercoach, baby. It's back. Supercoach is back, and it's killing us already. Then we look at Brendan Piacora, who the thing is, I wasn't even like that keen to start Piacora, just with the just with the start for the Broncos was tough and everything else. But I thought, you know what? I had some money to spare, and I didn't want to start like Kai Pierce-Paul just because of the uncertainty. I was like, Piakora is on the edge. He's going to play 80 minutes. He's locked into that spot. So I thought there's no risk not starting him, even if he doesn't score that well, even if he goes like 40s, it's fine. He's only priced like 420k, so he's not going to lose a lot of cash, and he's going to be a long-term play. Opening couple of minutes, he looked pretty good. He, like, first run, he had like a tackle break, and then of course cops a head knock. He is a notorious guy for head knocks. I do remember that last year in Q Cup, he had a couple back to back, and oh god damn, dude. We'll see, because obviously the Broncos have a long turnaround. I don't know the exact time frame. He might be back for round 2. I'm probably just going to hold him, even if he's out for round 2. I think it's just a trade that it could be a wasted trade, unless there's another back rower that's absolutely banging the door down at a mid-range price. Then maybe you part ways. But I think it's one of these trades that you just got to ride it out. You take the hit and don't waste a trade on someone like that. But we'll see what happens. Ezra Mam, obviously a bit of a popular 5'8 option. Didn't have the best night. Had a bit of a shocker. Who else? Who else of note? So Reece Walsh, obviously, I mean, he had his errors, he had his brilliance, scored 81 points. So, I mean, if you started Reece Walsh, you'd be pretty happy with that. Payne Haas, he must have updated a fair bit. He was only on like, I thought he was only like 50, 60, but he always updates. Payne Haas up to 71, so you know what you're going to get. You know what you're going to get with Payne Haas getting 71 points. Jordan Ricky, Jesse Arthurs, so people who took the gamble on Arthurs at 380k, you'd be pretty happy. 60 points. I didn't take Jesse Arthurs, but again, if he kills it again next week, then yeah, it could be a guy you look to bring in. Corey Jensen, you got to be careful. I think people might look at Jensen's score and be like, oh, I got to bring Jensen in. He's only priced like 400k, but you got to remember, Piakora going off early, Pat Carrigan moved to the back row, and it just meant their front rowers played more minutes, which again, Payne Haas probably would have played the minutes anyway. But yeah, Jensen, I just ease potential expectations. And then not too much else to talk about with the Broncos. I mean, Fletcher Baker was somewhat popular very early in preseason, but I don't think too many other people went him. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a quick little video discussing the opening couple of games. They were good games. Honestly, I thoroughly enjoyed it, barring fucking Broncos losing and just Supercoach killing me early. That's it's fine. It is what it is. At least Brendan Piakora was very popular. Tupanua, I don't think it was as popular, which is frustrating, but it is what it is. I won't go through the rest of my team now. We'll wait for team list Tuesday, and then I'll do like a proper sort of preview for the rest of the round and what I'm looking to do, because there's a lot of decisions to make for the rest of my team, but also for next week there's some pending things, that's for sure. So hopefully you guys avoided the Piakora and Tupanua issues. But you know, it is early rounds. If it's going to happen, you'd probably rather it happen in the early rounds so you can make your decisions early. It's not going to affect prices and the scores. You can easily catch up you can easily catch up after a couple of poor starts to the season, especially if they're not really high upside guys. I mean, obviously, if Tupanua and Brendan Piakora both got like 50 points, like it would have been lovely, but it's not. It's just going to ruin the whole season, so don't get too bound up in it. And also the forwards in general, like again, most forwards, like probably Terrell May out of all the forwards was the only guy that didn't underperform. Everyone else was pretty stinky, I guess, apart from like Jensen. Payne Haas did what he does, but everyone else, it was not great. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the little recap. Looking forward to the rest of the team list and then the rest of the regular rounds. So make sure to like and comment. I'll see you guys in the next one.